Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and today we're going to learn about all the hunting and recreational opportunities in the Paulding Forest and Sheffield Wildlife Management areas. We just call it the WMA. Our WMA is one of many ingrained in tradition. It all started in 1942 during a conversation around a mountain campfire, which sowed the first seeds for what would eventually develop into one of the state's most important public hunting and outdoor recreation areas. The tracts are almost 50 square miles combined. Hunting and abundant wildlife are just two of the many jewels in the crown of our WMA. Its proximity to Metro Atlanta makes it not only a convenient place to hunt for millions of Georgians, but its scenic beauty attracts thousands annually to hike, bike, camp, fish, and numerous other outdoor recreation activities. Untold thousands of bikers ride through Paulding Forest annually on the Silver Comet Trail. These forests contribute to the high-quality water found at Raccoon Creek located on the property. The creek is filled with at-risk threatened and endangered fish and mussels. Clean water not only helps them survive, but also lures anglers, hikers, and birders to come see for themselves.
There's Paulding Forest Wildlife Management Area as well as Sheffield Wildlife Management Area. Sheffield was actually the first property that the state owned or purchased in Paulding County. Was the result of funding that was provided by Governor Zell Miller as part of his Preservation 2000 project back in the late 80s. So we purchased 3,200 acres, was the initial purchase at Sheffield in 1989.
The Sheffield WMA is approximately 9 square miles and has a natural stand of rare montane longleaf pines. It supports healthy game populations and is a popular WMA for small game, turkey, and archery deer hunting. Road access is somewhat limited except during certain hunting seasons. A single campground is located at the southern end of the Wildlife Management Area just off of Lee Road. To get here from Dallas, you take Highway 61 north, 6.2 miles to Braswell Mountain Road, turn left, go 2.4 miles to Lee Road, turn right, and proceed 1.2 miles to the entrance.
We manage Sheffield as an archery-only area for deer hunting to try to provide just a little bit of different opportunity. Paulding Forest, we allow archery hunting, but we also do a couple of distinct time period gun hunts for deer. But the hunting, I'd say, is equally good on both.
The Paulding Forest WMA is an approximately 40 square mile property which offers hunting opportunities for deer, turkey, and small game, camping, pre-season scouting, hiking, picnicking, and other recreational uses are allowed year-round unless otherwise posted at the WMA check station or at a specific recreation site. To get here from Dallas, you take Highway 61 north, 6.2 miles to Braswell Mountain Road, turn left, go 6.7 miles, and the entrance will be on your right.
We have started up a very active burn program, and we have done a lot of thinning of timber for wildlife in the last 10 years, and so we have improved the habitat conditions across thousands of acres of Paulding Forest over the last decade plus, and so it's one of the better areas in the state for deer and turkey. At Paulding Forest, we have an area that we've designated as a dog training area, particularly for bird dogs or rabbit dogs. And what that allows for is a period of time starting in mid-August and running all the way through late March of the following year. People can take their dogs out to that specific area, and if they're training a dog to try to make it good to hunt quail or other birds or rabbits, they can go out there and do that.
This beautiful WMA contains one of the southernmost trout fishing opportunities, Raccoon Creek.
Fishing, you have Raccoon Creek, which you can catch red-eye bass or brim sunfish species. that are native to that creek. We do stock trout seasonally in Raccoon Creek in the late spring and early summer, which is another great opportunity for people. In addition to Raccoon Creek, you also have tributaries on the south end of Paulding Forest that feed into the Pumpkin Vine drainage, and so there's Bluffy Creek, there's Whitehead Creek, and they're going to have your native fish species like red-eye bass or sunfish that you could catch in those. And they kind of, with a little ultralight rod, it can be kind of fun to go hike in and do a little fishing and catch and release activity. If you're interested in that sort of fishing, you might want to look into the Georgia Bass Slam, which is a neat thing. We have 7 different native species of bass in the state of Georgia, and our fisheries section a couple years ago created this kind of a challenge for anglers that if they want to, they can try to catch all 7 species across the state, and they can get a little certificate, if they provide documentation, and that's cool. And then in addition to that, we have Gold Mine Lake, and there's 2 smaller lakes that we call the Upper Gold Mine Lakes that are located up towards Gold Mine Road and up that way. They are accessed by foot. You can't drive to them, but people are allowed to fish them, and they are popular for anglers to try that. Camping is allowed on both of the WMAs. Anybody that goes out there to be able to do that needs to have either a hunting license, fishing license, or a lands pass. And we do have people take advantage of that, and it's a good opportunity for the citizens in the county. There's not any amenities. All of our camping on the WMA is strictly primitive. You just provide a spot for hunters to go camp or anyone else that wants to go out and camp. On Paulding Forest, we don't have designated camping areas. We allow camping across the entire property. Sheffield in particular, it's kind of interesting. We did some bird surveys before we did any of our restoration work in our longleaf area up there to document what species of birds we're using the area and how many we were coming across. And we expected and were wanting to see a shift in the types of birds that were using that area after we restored it to the more open condition, because there's a lot of species of songbirds that they need that type of habitat and they're not found outside of those habitats. And a paper, one of our wildlife conservation section biologists had done some more surveys about 5 years ago after we had completed a lot of that work in burning and timber harvest, and found that we had gotten tremendous results with the numbers of species of birds encountered in that area being a lot higher than prior to our efforts, and of species that we were wanting to see, like some of the red-headed woodpeckers and different warblers and sparrows. They were responding in there. So if anyone is interested in bird watching, both WMAs provide great opportunities, but I'd say particularly you may want to check out the longleaf restoration area in Sheffield.
As Atlanta sprawls ever closer, Paulding County, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, which manages the almost 50 square mile tract, are considering the WMAs a new breed of outdoor amenity. The community banded together decades ago and still do today to secure our Paulding Forest and Sheffield WMAs so that hunting, outdoor recreation, and diverse abundant wildlife populations will continue to be enjoyed here for generations. Come see for yourself.